What's up, guys? It's the Folcon here. I know you've been missing me. I've been missing you. I hope you like some of the recent releases I've had on our channel. I thought they were pretty good, but that's just me. Welcome back to another episode of Folcon's 5, where I give you a top 5 of some, list. It's just a top 5, I guess. Normal stuff. As you can see, or maybe you can tell, I'm in a different spot than when I normally record. That's because, well, I guess the reason we haven't been recording as much is because we're all off in college, or we're all off in different parts. I'm in college, Jackson College, Austin is working a lot, so we're a little busier, which is also why we haven't been recording much. This is the first time I've actually recorded on webcam since I've got here, because I don't know, I have a roommate who, I don't know how he would take that, so me recording, so I try not to do it, but he's gone for the weekend. Gives me a chance to kind of, record. So here I am giving you my top 5 Star Wars video games. Now, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, as I think you might have realized by now. If you know me, you know how much I love Star Wars, and it's a really awesome. I love the movies, and honestly, I like the original. I mean, the episodes 1, 2, and 3. I do like the original trilogy too, but I really like episodes 1, 2, and 3, where a lot of people hate them. But they were really the first movies I saw. Actually, no, that's not true. I saw 4, 5, and 6 first, because I own them, but I don't know, I was young when I saw them, and they were, I loved them and stuff, but when I saw 1, 2, and 3, I didn't see anything wrong with them, and I still don't. I still love the movies. They're great movies, because I think Anakin's story arc makes a lot of sense, and kind of leads to him becoming Darth Vader, which I think is really cool. But enough about the movies. I know you want to hear my top 5 games. And so let's start. Number 5 is Star Wars Episode 2 for the Game Boy. Now, it is a fairly linear game. It's a kind of side-scrolling type game where you play as different Jedis, and basically just walk through a level and, hitting people with your lightsaber and using force techniques and stuff. And it's kind of a challenging game, to be honest, because, like I said, it's side-scrolling back and forth, but it just has really weird design choices. It's kind of, you got, your attack buttons don't always one-shot kill people, and you have to get right up next to them. You can't, throw your lightsaber or anything, and the force only works in certain parts. For the most part, you're kind of just sitting around, or walking around and having to walk up next to that person and then stab them. And then there's turrets and stuff, and those are a pain. Plus the fact that you can't jump and swing your lightsaber, because when you jump, the attack button becomes a kick. And you can't kick turrets, you can only hit them with your lightsaber. So it's annoying when you have turrets that are above your head, so you have to walk underneath them, all while them shooting you, and then hit them. And health and lives aren't that thing, and it's not one of those games where it saves automatically. And this is for the Game Boy Advanced SP, or Game Boy Advance too. So it's pretty decently along. They have save games where they can save themselves, but this one you don't have saves. You just have, you beat the level, you get a code for that level. So you enter in codes to get on farther. Otherwise, you have to start over the game every single time. And I never really saved those codes. And when I had it, I was young enough where I didn't really use the internet much, and never really went on the internet. So although it is a fun game, it is number 5 on the list because it wasn't a great game. It wasn't really. It's not one of my favorites. It's my 5th favorite, I guess. And Well, again, some of the bosses are hard. I don't think I got past the 4th level on my own. I used a cheat code to get to the last level, or not cheat code, but, you know, a code, because you just go to the, when I finally looked up online, I just looked up, you know, the last code, went there. It's kind of disappointing. And, where you just fight Count Dooku. Again, it's not too, it's pretty linear. It follows the storyline pretty much to a T. So that's that one. My number 4, sorry, is Knights of the Old Republic, which is on PC. It is an amazing game. I loved KOTOR. It's a really, really long game. It has to go to like 6 or 7 different planets and explore them and stuff and gain stuff. And you basically play as a build your own character, name it, whatever. But you wake up and you can't remember anything. Don't know where you are, except that you're on a Republic ship going down. And this is like before the Star Wars movies. It's a long time before, and the start of the Old Republic, or like when the Republic was like just getting new. Sith Wars had just happened or something like that. Anyways, you're on a Republic fighter fighting, you're on a Republic fighter, and have to fight some. They're not. Oh God, who are you fighting? You're fighting. The Darth Lord, I forget exactly what his name was. Malak. I think that's it. Darth Malak. You have to fight his forces as he's risen, and you're fighting in the Sith Wars, basically. So and eventually your ship goes down. You crash land on a planet, and only you and one other member survive. Well, one other member you find there, whose name is Karth, and so that's where you start on. Crash landed on a planet with Karth, and it's good. It's a good game. I really like the game. It's interesting storytelling. It's kind of an interesting combat system. It's one of those things where you walk around and you click on things to interact with them, to pick up things, and then you enter combat mode when enemies come near, and it's a turn-based type thing, but not. It's hard to explain. Like, you can walk around, but then you attack in turns. So picture like, I don't know, Final Fantasy type attacking, except that you can walk around and stuff, and you have a lot of different options. You can throw grenades, you can use force stuff, which is awesome because there's a heal force ability, which kind of gets abused a lot near the end, where I just have 3 Jedis just to go, just because you get like a ton of med packs and stuff, but when you can just force yourself back to full health, it's kind of pointless to have those med packs until you're on like a boss, because then you can't use the force abilities, you can, but they use a force mana, whatever, and if you're out of that, you can't heal yourself, so then you use med packs. But so yeah, it's a turn-based game where you attack and they attack, and what turns me off a little bit about the game is the fighting mechanic, because a lot of the times you actually miss with your attacks, and especially on some of the bosses, you cannot seem to hit the bosses, and they hit pretty easily and do a ton of damage, and it's really annoying and can be pretty difficult. I played it through once and beat it, and then I just recently started to play through it again, but it's not a game that you can really replay. I got to, it's supposed to be where you can make different choices and stuff, and it has that moral choice system where if you could do nice choices, you get a good points, and if you do evil choices, you get evil points, and you get either the good or the evil ending, that kind of thing. And obviously I shot for good, because some of the evil ones were just really random and weird. But it's, I don't know, it's a really interesting game. Again, I love the story behind it. The story is really, really amazing. I don't want to spoil it because there's a huge reveal near the end, which honestly kind of led up to it, but it was pretty heavily hinted at. But it was still, a big reveal. And it's, I don't know, just really great game. And again, the combat system isn't that bad. You get used to it, and it's workable. It works for the most part. It just can be really annoying at times. So yeah, that is Knights of the Old Republic. My number 3 is The Force Unleashed for the DS. Now, I picked the DS mostly because that's the only one I've played. I've played The Force Unleashed 2 on the Wii, but honestly, the DS was a lot better system for this, mostly because the touchpad was where your attacks were, so it had a bunch of different buttons on there, and if you touch, one of the buttons, you use that attack, so it has a bunch of different buttons for different attacks, and you can combine buttons to make combos and stuff like that, which is really, really cool, and it was very innovative. I wish I could see that in more games for the DS, because it was a really, really good system for running around and then using that to shoot, or not, well, lightsaber. So using that to attack and melee and stuff, and it was a really good system. The story was pretty good on the DS. I think that what I don't like about games sometimes is how the stories differ on different consoles. Because I think the DS one differs from, like, say, the PS2 or 3 version, whatever it came out on, which is kind of annoying. But the DS version was really good. Plus, you get armor and stuff, and crystals for your lightsaber and stuff that you can upgrade your lightsaber. You can upgrade, or you can choose different armor. And although that doesn't have much impact on the game, in fact, it has no impact at all because all the lightsabers different color lightsabers are the same, and all the different armors are the same thing. It is still pretty fun because after you beat the game, you get a bunch of awesome armor, like the Sith Stalker armor and the Jedi armor, or something like that. And you basically are able, then you can replay the game. Then, like, after you beat the game, it restarts you on the first level, but you keep all your upgrades and keep all the crystals and everything you got. So that's awesome. And near the last level, you unlock, like, this ultimate force move, which is just amazing and a really, really fun. It's just a lot of fun. I've beaten it multiple times. It is a pretty good story, so that is why it earns number 3 place on my list. For number 2 is Lego Star Wars, the first Lego Star Wars. And a lot of people will probably say, oh, why not the complete series or something, because that has the first one plus the second one. I never liked the complete series as much. I always liked the first one, where the characters in there were some of my favorite. Like I said, I like the first 3 movies, and I liked playing through them again with the cutscenes in Lego Star Wars, the first one, were actually really well done. I thought it really funny. The fact that you can just go outside and destroy stuff and take over, switch between characters and stuff in the cantina, which is like the hub. It's a hub world mission-based system, so the hub world is the cantina, and you can kind of, no, it's actually Dexter's Diner, that's it, yeah, Dexter's Diner, from the second one, kind of just, walk outside, you see progress. There is actually a point to getting 100% on things, 100%, both coin-wise and getting all the invention pieces, because if you get all 10 invention pieces, you unlock, you get a ton of money from that. I don't know exactly why, but it's a good way to earn money, is getting those 10 invention pieces, which helps you unlock characters and upgrades and stuff. Like the really hard to unlock invincibility. God, I love invincibility. but also getting 100% on every level will unlock the special the first level of the fourth movie, which is I didn't think because it has like a question mark above it for the whole game until you unlock it. Then it says 4, and it's like just when you think you beat the game, just when you think you got everything out of it, you get another level, and it's a pretty well designed level. I think you play as Darth Vader in it and a stormtrooper, and it's tons of fun. You get to walk around killing rebels, invade their ship. It's just a ton of fun. And that's how you get Darth Vader too, or are able to buy him. You get to do a ton of different moves. The characters actually do have unique aspects where you want to play as one over another. Like General Grievous has a good jump, but his bodyguard has the best jump, although it's only a single jump. And then you can do different things with different characters to unlock different people, and it's just a lot of fun, and it actually takes a lot of effort to unlock everything. Like there's this one mission where to get one of the invention pieces took us forever, because to get it you had to use the Force on these 3 carrots throughout this beach that you're on. It's on the Kashyyyk one, and you know, you wouldn't think to do this. Once you see it's a carrot, it usually doesn't give you anything, so you just don't do it. Pick up these carrots, and you're supposed to get that last invention piece, and even within item finder it says, oh, this is where it's going to appear, but it doesn't tell you how you're supposed to unlock it. And so it still took us forever to figure out that, oh, you have to pull these carrots up and then it'll appear there. But it was a really fun game, and that's why it earns the number 2 spot on my list. However, my favorite Star Wars game of all time by far is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is an amazing third-person shooter. You take, you know, if you're not familiar with Star Wars Battlefront, that's really sad. You should immediately play it. It's an amazing game. You play as, basically you play throughout different wars, and I think its system is one of the best I've seen for any type of multiplayer. Instead of playing to 100 kills or whatever, basically you play as a, you know, whatever army you're going to fight for. You can be the Republic, you can be the droids, you can be the stormtroopers, you can be the rebels, and whatever, and you can pick who your enemy is to. Actually, you can't really pick your enemy, but you pick a bunch of different levels, and at the start of the level you can go to be one team or the other, and you each start with like 100 troops, and the first one to lose all those troops loses, and they spawn multiple at a time. There's tons of AIs running around doing stuff, and a lot can depend on how good your AIs are. Usually your AIs are not as good as your opponent's AIs, just because I think they did that so you didn't completely, like, it wasn't completely easy, because it can be challenging at times. But it is a really fun game. You get to play as different classes and stuff, and also you can play as Jedis in this one, which makes it different than the first one. Although I liked the first one, I liked playing as the different heroes and villains in the second one. I also liked the Galactic Conquest better, and the introduction of space battles, which is another great idea, being able to fly around in ships and stuff to destroy enemy ships, and bigger cruisers and stuff, and landing and invading bigger cruisers of enemy cruisers, and it's just tons of fun. And it also has a campaign mode called Rise of the Empire, where you play as basically play as a clone soldier from the end of the near the middle of the Clone Wars to Yavin 4 and Hoth, actually until Hoth, which is just complete fun. You see the progression of this through intros at the start, and then throughout the battle there's not much, just objectives to go kill people, have a lot of fun. but you also get to see the progression of how the clones, turned into the stormtroopers, or what they were thinking. They kind of knew that they were going to betray the Jedi. Obviously, there was an order. They're going to betray the Jedi at some point, and at the start, you're fighting with the Jedi, and there's on, I think, the second mission, your guy talks about how Ayla Secura, who's a Jedi, was really like nice, and after they helped her, conquer and stuff, when she personally saw them off when they were leaving and thanked them for their work, and he was like, none of us could look her in the eyes. I hope when the time came, she died quickly. We owed it to her for that. And it was just really interesting to think they knew they were going to betray the Jedis, and they were really secretly working against them the whole time. But they did have, emotional feel and stuff. There's another mission where the clone base on Camino, like where they make the clones, has made another army to rebel against the Empire, because I don't know why the Caminoans, I think that's how you say them, want to rebel against the Empire, so they create their clones. So then you're basically fighting other clones, and you have the Empire stormtroopers versus the actual clones. It also talks about how after that how the Empire stopped using just regular clone troopers, which explains and started taking samples for clones from a variety of different sources, which is why all of them don't look like Jango Fett anymore. So suck on that, people who are getting all up Nancy because of that new Star Wars trailer where they're like, oh, that stormtrooper is black. Oh, that's so. It's like, well, in Star Wars Battlefront 2, in that one, the stormtrooper says, hey, the Empire started taking from different samples, different people, and started recruiting people instead of just having clones, because they felt just having clones based off one person could be too easily corruptible. If you corrupt one, you can probably corrupt them all, basically. So diversity happened. So there's no problem with him being black at all. But yeah, that's my top 5 list. I would definitely recommend playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 if you've never played it. Lego Star Wars is an amazing game. And Force Unleashed is a lot of fun. KOTOR is really fun. The only one on here that I wouldn't be too offended if you didn't play would be Star Wars Episode 2, because it was a good game, but it was more just to fill this list, because there aren't that many great Star Wars games. But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos on Jack3YT. Check out our Block Soldiers series. I think I don't know anyone who hasn't liked it after watching it. It is a hilarious show. If you like the show Red vs. Blue, it's kind of like that. And it's just really fun to make, and hopefully we'll be making more of those soon and be out soon. We're working on getting time to work together and make some more. Meanwhile, enjoy Dumbbutt Plays Outlast. I know you love Dumbbutt, and Dumbbutt loves you too, guys. And he wants to keep on making some of these Outlast videos. So be ready for him to freak out, and keep watching for more episodes of that. Also check out, I'm about to also release Shadow of Mordor review. I recently beat it, or just beat it today actually, that I'm filming today. So be ready, be waiting for that. That'll be out too. Until then, peace out, guys.